Hi and welcome to Fun Swedish. After our 10 mistakes Swedish learners make video, which you can check out here, we get many messages from you saying that the video helped you pass your SFI exam. And that makes us very happy. So here comes a second round of common mistakes that Swedish learners make, so that you can keep your dog and the Swedish authorities happy. Nummer 1. Here we're looking for a job and we want to say, I'm interested in this position. So if you write in your CV that your Swedish is really good, then you actually can't make this mistake. Can you see it? Can you spot the mistake in this sentence? The correct answer would be, jag är intresserad av den här tjänsten. So, in a way, what we say in Swedish is really, I'm interested by this position. Translating prepositions are really tricky, because sometimes we use exactly the same prepositions as in English, and sometimes we absolutely don't, like in this case. So remember, to make a first great impression, you need to write or you need to say, jag är intresserad av den här tjänsten. Nummer 2. Here you get a question. Have you tried fermented herring? The question is actually perfect, but the answer isn't. So here, this brave person who tried surströmming.
Oh, that's the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. It's everywhere.
Wants to answer yes one time or yes once. So this answer is quite common. I have seen it many times and also heard it. But it's a mistake, a classic mistake. It's actually a case of Swinglish. So the thing is that the word tid is actually not the word you should use here. The correct word would instead be gång. Har du provat surströmming? Ja, en gång. This is a tricky one, because if you translate the word time to Swedish, then you will get the word tid. However, we use more tid when we talk about the clock.
It's time to stop.
But if we talk about a specific moment in life, once I did this or that, then we use en gång instead. Gång could be kind of translated to path. So we are basically saying, once I took this path in my life and I tried surströmming, it was the wrong path. And I know that Swedish is not the only language that doesn't use the word time in this expression. In Spanish you use, for example, una vez, which is more similar to the Swedish word gång than the English word time. This is a good way to remember that different languages have different ways of seeing the world. And to know this is the first step to learn a new language.
Whoa.
Next sentence, nummer 3. This mistake is a big no-no, because it can put you in very awkward situations, even if your intentions were good. Can you see the mistake? Let's watch this clip from one of our courses where we discuss this topic.
Can we use snygg for babies? Like, oh, what it, like what it, no, Valerie said no. Very good. No, we can't use snygg for babies, like children, maybe not for, inte för hund. Megan, your dog, we shouldn't call your dog snygg either.
Varför?
Varför? Because it has a little bit of sexual connotation, so avoid. So
Okay.
snygg
I have done that before to a male dog and not known.
Oh,
I've been like, oh.
Snygg hund.
yeah, exactly.
I was talking to
moment.
someone trying in Swedish to talk about our dogs. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm
Very
honestly. Yeah, exactly. So det är sådana saker som Google Translate förstår inte. Google Translate doesn't understand these things so much, because if you translate, snygg means beautiful or nice or pretty, but no, snygg is more good looking, hot kind of. So dogs. Absolutely not for babies. Nej, söt. A baby is söt, okay?
So, vilken söt bebis du har would be the correct sentence. So, to remember again, babies and dogs, they are not snygg, because snygg means good looking or hot. They are instead söt, which means more cute. And if you want to join one of our live Zoom courses, which always have this fun and light-hearted feel to them, then you can check out the link up here. Our live courses are always a small group of up to 10 people. And we probably have some courses starting soon that you can join. There's also a link in the description below. Now back to the video. Number 4. Here, what the person wants to say is, I have been in Sweden for 3 years. But there's a grammar mistake. Again, there's a preposition that is wrong. So in Swedish, we use the preposition I when we talk about duration, how long you have done something, hur länge, I. So the correct answer would be, jag har varit i Sverige i 3 år, not för 3 år. And I can totally understand why many of you make this mistake. First, because, like we said before, here we're using a preposition that is totally different from English. But also because sometimes we do use the preposition för in a similar situation. And this is when we talk about when something happened, instead of how long. For example, jag kom till Sverige för 3 år sedan. I came to Sweden 3 years ago. This is when something happened. But again, if you want to talk about duration, how long you have been doing something, then we need to put the preposition I. If you want to know more about this topic and prepositions, then you can check out this video. So, let's move on. Number 5. So here we want to say that we like carrots, but this is a tricky one. Could you find a mistake? So, a carrot would be en morot, but in plural, for this word, we need to change the O to Ö. So that's why it becomes morötter in plural. So the correct sentence would be, jag tycker om morötter. I like carrots.
I like turtles.
So in Swedish we have some words that change vowels in plural, and we change them by adding 2 dots on the top. Here are some examples of words that do this in plural. En stad, a city, becomes städer, cities. Ett land, a country, becomes länder, countries. En fot, a foot, becomes fötter, feet. En hand, a hand, becomes händer. Unfortunately, there's no clear rule when this happens. You just need to learn by heart when this happens. But the good thing is that they're quite rare, so there are not many words you need to remember that follow this pattern. Number 6. What is wrong here? Here, what the person wants to say is, you are right, but we think differently in Swedish. We say, du har rätt, which can be translated to, you have right. Or maybe even, you have correctness. Here we use 2 different verbs. So in English, you use am, I am right. And in Swedish, we use have or har, jag har rätt. Swedish is actually more similar to some Latin languages here. Right is for us something that you can't be. It's something you have, something you possess. If you speak Spanish, this will be easy for you. If you want to say, you are right, in Spanish you would say, for example, tienes razón. Same thing in Swedish. Du har rätt. We both have the right.
You're goddamn right.
Next mistake, number 7. This is a classic mistake. Here the person wants to say, when I get home, I will eat a cinnamon bun. But can you spot the mistake in the Swedish sentence? Even though eating a kanelbulle is never a mistake. The correct way of saying it would be, när jag kommer hem ska jag äta en kanelbulle. So the problem here was the word order. It's different from English. Remember, Swedish has a Yoda-like word order. Very short. The reason why ska comes before jag here is because we have an huvudsats. And in a huvudsats, we need to put the verb in the second place. Verb på andra plats. And the first place, in this case, are these 4 words that form a bisats that indicates time. När jag kommer hem. This is time. When I get home. This word order thing, bisats, huvudsats, is a very long topic. And we don't have time for that in this video. But if you want to know more about it, check out our köttbulle video course, which has a deep dive into this topic, with more than 1 hour of lessons and exercises dedicated to this topic. The link to that is up here or in the description below. Next mistake, number 8. You're at the bar and you want to ask someone, is this your table? But you say this. What is wrong? there's a grammar mistake. You should be saying är det ert bord? In Swedish, we need to conjugate some words depending if the thing we're talking about is an n-ord or an ett-ord. The word bord, table, happens to be an ett-ord. So that's why we need to say ert bord. If you would have talked about something that was an n-ord, then it would have been correct to just put er. Like in this example, en stol, a chair. So it would be är det er stol? Because stol is an n-ord. We know that n and et is tricky, and a lot of people say that it's one of the hardest things in Swedish. But the good thing is that a normal Swede will still be able to understand you even if you mix them up. It just sounds a bit like if you were saying I want to have an apple instead of I want to have an apple. Sounds weird, but you will still get your apple because the person understands what you're talking about.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
Do you like apple fan?
Nummer 9. Here the person wants to say I am at home or I am home. But for a Swede, it would kind of sound more like you're saying I am a home. The thing in Swedish is that we have two words for home. Hem och hemma. Hemma is the word for home we use when we want to say that we are at home. So the correct sentence would be jag är hemma. But when do we use hem then? Well, when we are moving towards our home. Jag går hem, I'm going home, I'm walking home. Jag åker hem, I'm going home with transportation. Jag kommer hem, I'm coming home.
Mamma, jag kommer hem.
All these verbs indicates movement. We're going towards home. And this is when we can use hem. If we, on the other hand, are already home, not moving, just chilling in the sofa watching Netflix, then you should say jag är hemma because you're not moving from the sofa. Hemma always goes together with är. Nummer 10. Last mistake. The person wants to say put the glass on the table. What is wrong here? The thing is that in Swedish we have like 5 different ways to say put. And which one you should use depends on how you're putting something and what you are putting. In this case, we're talking about putting a glass on a table. And when we talk about things that can be standing by itself vertically, then we use the verb ställ or sätt. But we can't use the verb häll. Because häll is used when you talk about liquids or things that you can pour. So that is the verb we need to change. I will correct the sentence to ställ glaset på bordet. If you want to know more about how we put things in Swedish and all the different verbs we use to talk about this action, then you can check out this video. So, now I hope that you will pass more SFI exams. And before you go, put a like so we can do more videos for you. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Hej då!